and even just the promotion that we mostly watch, and this is our chance to do it. This is Ric Flair. Ric Flair from WrestleZone. I made this the lead story of Cheap Heat because of what happened tonight at Elimination Chamber. This is Ric Flair revealing which WWE superstar he wants to break his world title record. He named his daughter Charlotte Flair instead of John Cena, but he gave his top three. His daughter, Charlotte Flair, who I think has 14 world titles on the women's side. But the other two he mentioned in his top three were John Cena, who has 16, tied with the Nature Boy. Do you want to take a guess as to who the third person he mentioned was?
Well, I can tell you who it isn't going to be. Andrade.
Not Andrade.
And maybe
it's Randy Orton, who we saw come back tonight.
Oh,
so
yeah.
2 of the 3 people Flair mentioned here. Although Ric Flair considers himself a 21-time world champion. I don't know what kind of math he's doing.
Steiner math.
He's doing Steiner math. 21 and a third world champions there. So Cena, if he wins, would have his 17th. Charlotte Flair and Randy Orton, I think they're both at around 14. So these are the people. Who do you want to see break Ric Flair's record if you want to see anyone break it? Or do you think that John Cena and Ric Flair being tied should stay that way forever?
Gotta go heel Cena, right?
If Cena wins the record breaking one finally as a heel, that would be so appropriate because Ric Flair was a great heel champion throughout his career.
Yeah.
Sometimes was a face, but mostly was a great heel champion. So yeah, Cena finally turning heel, that might be fantastic.
Is Cena going to be wearing like
isn't there? Pardon, go ahead.
Is he going to spray paint NWO on the title and everything like that? Because it is very Hogan-esque what he's doing.
He makes like a Soul or Final Boss or something, or the Rock's champ. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
It's got to be something. Do you want to see John Cena break the record?
If it goes Cena versus Cody and Cena's a heel, how do you not want to see heel Cena win the title?
It may be Ric Flair may get his wish that one of these 3 is going to do it. And Charlotte Flair may get her 15th at WrestleMania as well. And maybe, there's more down her road because she's still got a career to go.
Cena's been so excellent as a face for so long.
Yes.
To turn him heel, they could get a year out of him, right?
Okay. Does it make you wish that he wasn't retiring?
No. It makes me wish he wasn't retiring.
There you go.
Makes his character so much more interesting. And the thing was, he just has those 5 moves of doom, and he has the same shtick over and over and over. And it's like he's finally going to branch out and try something different. Like it's going to end up in New Japan, and he's going to be in New Japan, and he's going to be doing WWE stuff. Like he has stayed in such a boring lane his entire career.
Yes,
and he hasn't tried anything different ever. Ever. He hasn't done anything. So to see him do this now is so exciting.
Yep. So. It's maybe they're doing the Jerry Seinfeld where you leave before people get tired of you. Like maybe John Cena, as really doing the nostalgic retirement tour, he was afraid that people would get too tired of him. Nobody's going to be tired of John Cena turning heel.
No. It's going to be amazing.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So, Ric Flair, Nature Boy, you may get your wish one way or the other here. Maybe Charlotte, it may be Cena, maybe it's Randy Orton one day. But I thought that would be a good way to lead into this because of what we just saw at Elimination Chamber. Next up, MJF. You tell me how much of this is shoot, how much of this is work, or is it it turned out to be both, and it was just a good thing to bring into the storyline. MJF removed his AEW tattoo. ComingSoon.net is wondering, is he done with Tony Khan's promotion? Did you see this on Dynamite? What do you make of it?
Well, I saw this segment when he was removing the tattoo. It's probably fake. And ultimately, He was new tattoo with deception. Bet on yourself, featuring poker chip and the AEW logo. What is this? Oh,
And then on the latest Dynamite, he delivered a traumatic pre-tape promo where a doctor performed laser tattoo removal, visibly erasing the AEW logo he had inked to commemorate his return in May of 2024. How much of this is shoot? How much of this is work?
I think it's a work.
Okay.
And I think it's a weird work, and I'm just going to say it because I got to be honest with MJF here. I think this whole like tribalism angle is not working as well as it did years ago. When AEW first started, they could really get over with being like, "Oh, WWE does this." But now like WWE is pretty hot and AEW is pretty hot. And I think people are a little sick of the tribalism stuff. I don't really get the gist, or at least I am.
Okay.
So doing this thing where you're like, oh, well, I'm no longer AEW, so I'm going to remove the tattoo. People are just going to be like, well, okay, rather than, oh man, don't ever leave AEW. You're evil because you're going to leave AEW. It's like, all right, go. You know, fans are too smart for it.
Well, especially in the age of the internet where we already know that reports have suggested otherwise. MJF signed a multi-million-dollar long-term contract with AEW, securing his future with the company. So it looks like work, but I mean, if he really did get that part of the tattoo removed, then boy, they're really laying into this one, you know.
Yeah, it's very weird. I just thought it was strange. It didn't make me that much more interested in him versus Hangman, right?
Hangman Adam Page, right?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff from AEW. MJF, what have you thought of his return the last, it's less than a year now that he's been back.
The internet's finally starting to turn on him a little bit. And the reason being is that his act is sort of, he kind of keeps doing the same thing over and over and over and over. He even does like the same way that he sets up his rivalries. He's like, I'm not going to wrestle you tonight. This guy will, and this guy will, and the next week this guy will. He does that like every time. And then he's also doing like a lot of the same promos over and over, like, oh yeah, this town sucks because of this, your team sucks, whatever. Like the cheap heat. But I still like him, and I think he's a big star. And anytime he's on the mic, you're gonna listen. What was rough is he came back and wrestled Adam Cole, and Adam Cole and him had a terrible feud. So he just needs another new feud, and he's gonna wrestle Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman's awesome. So I think that they'll do good.
He stated during apparently the Dynamite promo that his decision was influenced by the fans. Maybe MJF reads the interwebbies. Maybe he listens to what fans are saying there, and he's playing into it. We'll see. Glad to hear that you watch both promotions and you're tired of the tribalism. Each company puts out a different but successful in their own way product in your eyes now, right? That's kind of what I've been getting from you as you describe it.
Yeah, and I get the vibe that everyone is sort of tired of it too.
Okay.
So
good.
I think there's two companies. They have different stuff that you can like for. AEW's number 2, WWE's number 1 in the ratings and the popularity and the mainstream stuff. But AEW still puts on really good shows. And it doesn't mean that WWE doesn't put on good shows. They also do. So
very good. Thank you, comingsoon.net, for that report there. Over to Fightful Select. Ryan Nemeth, brother of Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, files a lawsuit against AEW, Tony Khan, and CM Punk. This is our CM Punk portion of Cheap Heat.
Right. There's always one.
There's got to be something. The lawsuit against AEW and CM Punk was apparently Ryan Nemeth, when he was in AEW, he felt like he was in danger because CM Punk was very aggressive backstage. Lots of, he was worried that Phil Brooks, CM Punk, would come back to the wrestling circuit following his suspension and assault Nemeth. Following Phil Brooks' return, CM Punk's return to wrestling, he assaulted Nemeth in the male talent locker room in a menacing manner. Brooks shouted at Nemeth, "Do we have an effing problem? Do we need to step outside and handle this like men?" At the time, CM Punk also had some pull with the brass. I don't know if he was quite as high up as the vice presidents were, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, who actually were vice presidents in the company. But apparently, Nick Nemeth was concerned. His well-known in the industry benching occurred after this, so he's suing. I don't know what to make of this lawsuit. I did not know about the feud or the backstage anything, but it's interesting that it's kind of lawsuit season around here. We've covered Vince McMahon's various lawsuits over the years here, and Don't Bury the Lead. I think Vince was our original cheap heat for all of the off-field stuff that was happening to him, out of the ring stuff. So moving on from this one, of course, is a report from Fightful Select. Back over to WrestleZone. This is good Punk. The other one was bad Punk. This is good Punk. Ricky Starks, who's now in WWE and NXT, his new name is Ricky Saints. He reunites with CM Punk ahead of his NXT in-ring debut. And this is Ricky Saints talking about how CM Punk really pushed him in a good way when they were both in AEW together. So this is good CM Punk. Somebody saying good stuff about CM Punk. So thank you, WrestleZone, for that report. On the other side, over to ITR Wrestling, an interview with Drew McIntyre talking about how he held off in his rivalry with CM Punk from really going for a kill switch when CM Punk delivered a good line for him. Their promos apparently are not scripted. So these guys, they're just going at it. You know, they have their bullet points and they're just in character and going at it. This was March 25th, almost a year ago. And this was pretty good. McIntyre brought up that he was always the chosen one. Punk responded, "Who chose you? What was his name? You got the balls to say you're the chosen one. What paragon of good virtue chose you?" And this was trying to paint Drew McIntyre as he was one of Vince McMahon's boys. And so Drew said, like, at the time he wanted to say the same guy who fired you on your wedding night, but he decided not to do it. What's going through my mind is the same person that fired you on your wedding day, but I'm a professional. I think by that point, people started seeing what I was capable of on the microphone, like it was a new thing. I don't care who it is. I can go toe-to-toe with anyone, even Punk. It's just two guys going at it, two guys that have some banter, two guys that genuinely don't like each other in a place as hot as Chicago where Punk's from. Then that one line, once we'd finally go back and forth so much, it was a choice for me to make. Do I go back and then see where we end up? Or do I bite my tongue and say, okay, this round belongs to you. I'll be a professional. I'll do it for the company as well as the de facto babyface, even though I'm the real babyface of the situation. So I let him have it. So this is sort of an inside wrestling peek into what goes on in these promos. Not totally scripted. And it's not only up to these guys to come up with great lines and to play off each other with the pauses and the timing, but it's also up to them to realize when the other guy got in a really good shot and you have to leave him and sell for him. So this was Drew McIntyre selling for CM Punk on the mic. This was a great feud.
Yeah, it was a great feud. Really good I like that concept of going out there, feeling the crowd, improving, because then it feels a lot more real than, oh, memorize these 50 lines, go say these 50 lines. Yep. No, like say it from your heart and then go out there and do it. And you have your bullet points.
It's like wrestling a match.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you're not scripting the whole match beforehand. You're just out there and it's two professionals. You're going move for move, just with words instead of with wrestling moves. And you're doing it. I wanted to bring up these. CM Punk is all over the news. In fact, don't bury the lead. Go ahead.
Go back to it real quick. Sorry.
Sure.
I wanted to add one thing just in case we make a video out of it.
Yes.
I really wish he said that line. It's such a banger. Oh man. If he had said that though, you would have been like, "Ooh." He would have turned face.
He
He
almost would have, right?
Yeah, they would have been like, "Damn, he got you, man."
The same person that fired you on your wedding day.
Sorry, go back to don't bury
I
the
love it. Yes, it was a great line. You're right. Well, there's your hot take, Drew. Now that you're telling us what was on your mind and what you didn't say, some of us wanted you to say it.
It was right there. Say it.
CM Punk has been in the news. I wanted to bring these up not only because everybody has their own opinion on CM Punk, so does The Undertaker. And you, John, put together an edited video of this. The Undertaker shoots on CM Punk's WWE return. Hot video for us here. Getting a lot of likes, getting a lot of views on it. It's only about a day old as we record this here. Got some comments as well. People are talking about it. Head on over to Don't Bury the Lead on YouTube, a wrestling channel. Don't Bury the Lead, a YouTube channel. Find this video. Give it a watch. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Head down in the comments. Tell us what you think about it. Have a conversation in there. We really like when this happens, even if you disagree with our takes on things. Join the conversation, join the party. And if you haven't subscribed yet while you're there, hit the subscribe button or hit the join button for extra levels of access. Don't Bury the Lead, a wrestling channel. John, we're all over this CM Punk story.
We are all over it. Yeah, you get the real footage of the shoot interview and then us talking about it. And I say some things how I feel about CM Punk. And guess what? I say some things in there, and guess what? You could go in the comment section if you want. And I said, damn it, they're going to hit me in the comment section. And Dom said, let them come after you. And
yeah, right.
So I unloaded. And then we did some inside jokes too, which are great.
Yes, of course. And I was going to play this, but I don't want YouTube to flag us for playing our own video during our video.
No, you can play it. You should be good.
And then give us a strike because we played our own video during our own video. So there's on Busted Open Radio, it's The Undertaker with Bully Ray. And they go through Undertaker saying that he's been impressed by CM Punk since he's been back. And then, of course, there's you and I talking about it. And, we're doing a callback to our own stuff for a while. Pro wrestling is real. NASCAR is fake. There's another one even that we did. Pro wrestling is real. Democracy is fake. We have that too from the RNC when Hulk Hogan went up there and cut a promo tearing his shirt off.
I cracked up at that when you said democracy is fake.
And it finishes up, Undertaker has an interesting relationship with Vince McMahon. He's been able to separate Vince the creative from Vince the superior, the supervisor and boss and CEO of a lot of people behind the scenes. You cannot like Vince McMahon, how he handled business behind the scenes and how he treated employees, and also acknowledge that Vince McMahon had a good mind for this carnival barking stuff that we call pro wrestling. And he was instrumental in Mark Calloway becoming the Undertaker and having a great long career. So good video there. It runs barely 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to invest in Don't Bury the Lead. Head on over and check that out.
Yeah.
Back over to coming soon.net. Becky Lynch on her WWE, what that looks like in the future. She was rumored to be going to the premiere of Raw on Netflix. Wound up not being there. We haven't seen her since. She's still a big star. She still could have great matches with people. It's not like she was losing so much of her in-ring ability that it was gone and you're like, oh, it's time for her to hang them up. She's just been out. Maybe they just don't have plans for her yet. Do you want to see Becky Lynch back? Simple question. I'll ask you, John. I'll ask everybody who's watching in the live stream and in the replay. Tell us in the chat. Tell us in the comments. Do you want to see Becky Lynch back for at least one more decent run in the WWE?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It'd be great to see her back. I am confused as to why she isn't. I'm really confused, honestly, because if she's healthy, she should be out there. And is she saying that she's not? Or
In early 2025, reports confirmed that she re-signed a new contract, making headlines across the pro wrestling world. She was on her book tour for a little bit, taking some time off to raise her young daughter. That she and Seth Rollins, a married couple, have a daughter together. Despite signing a new deal, Lynch has yet to return to the WWE. I guess a lot of people are asking her about it. Maybe she's slow playing the answer, saying, I don't know the answer to those questions, because she's trying to be, I don't mean to be in any way cagey, which is exactly what someone would say when they were trying to be cagey.
yeah.
So maybe that's part of it, but we haven't seen her back, and people thought she'd be back by now.
Well, I mean, if she's not back by Elimination Chamber, I don't know when she'll come back. Maybe they'll do this sometimes if she's not ready to go, or like they don't have a spot for her, or it's gonna be tough to get her up and ready for a WrestleMania match. She'll be a surprise person on that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
Okay.
You know, because that's always a big show. Or she makes a return then. You should probably that Monday night, and then she's like, oh man, she's back. You know. And
all right, that's a good call there.
Yeah, that'd be my bet now, because it's been. I don't look. It seems like everything's pretty set in stone with WrestleMania.
Yes, a lot of irons in the fire at this point, and it looks like they got a lot of good matches there. And because she hasn't been wrestling, they'd be really time crunched to put her into something in the 7 weeks between now and WrestleMania.
And then suddenly have her forced into a WrestleMania match where she has to really perform. I mean, you can't just go into those matches, right? You gotta.
Yep.
They got to be your match of the year kind of stuff.
Yep. Agreed. Totally. Back to WrestleZone. Mina Shirakawa, who's had some matches against AEW stars, including Mercedes Moné in this picture here. She named a current WWE star as her dream match. Have you seen Mina Shirakawa in any of the crossover stuff from Japan and AEW?
I have.
What she's like? Go ahead.
I have. She's a throwback character, if you will. She's more of a diva type. Yeah.
That's unusual for the Japanese style, isn't it?
She could still work, but her thing is that she's hot. So, and she's not afraid to say it.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, I know I'm hot kind of person. So that's her gimmick, is that she's hot.
She named Asuka as her absolute dream match. Asuka's been injured for a while. That's another person that we want to see back here. Would you like to see Mina Shirakawa and Asuka in some sort of dream match scenario?
I would watch Asuka wrestle a broom. So
I was just going to say the same thing. I would watch Asuka in any match.
So I would definitely watch that. I haven't seen a lot of this girl. She's kind of a comedy act. She's been portrayed as in AEW, but the crowd likes her. So the crowd definitely likes her.
Very good. I respect Asuka so much. I want to say Asuka-san as her answer, senpai. Asuka-san always guides me in the ring. You know, even the respectful naming of her there as Asuka-san. She gives me advice, messages me every time. I love her. I respect her deeply. But now I'm in Stardom. She's in WWE, so it's difficult. Still, it's my dream. Fantastic. Yes. And on that note, I wanted to put this in there also for us to say, we like Asuka. Asuka, if you're healthy enough and able to wrestle and you want to give it one more go, like Becky Lynch, we want to see you make another go of it in the WWE. She was fantastic for what I saw of her the year and a half that we got to watch her since we've been doing Don't Bury the Lead. Come on back, Asuka, whether it's to fight Mina Shirakawa or to wrestle anybody else in the WWE. Come on back, Asuka. We want to see it.
Yes. Agreed.
Couple of feel-good stories to end here. We've got a TikTok video of people who, this user here said, my cousin and his wife walked into their wedding reception to Jey Uso's intro and the entire reception yeeted for them. I don't know if we'll get a strike for doing this. I'll play it anyway. You could see them walking down here. Can't hear the music anyway when I play it, but as we move ahead here, everybody's yeeting. Jey Uso is over, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Look at this. Jey Uso is crazy over at some wedding reception he's not even at.
Dom,
fantastic.
Dom, I think this is cool because it's so obscure.
Yes.
Like the Jey Uso theme song, like this is not Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? This is like a modern wrestler. And you get a nice little venue they're in, and everyone is doing they must have had to tell them beforehand, hey, this is what you need to do. But Jey Uso's got to be feeling pretty good about himself right now. He got a Royal Rumble win, and he's got like regular people doing his yeets. So
this has happened before. This happened at like Cleveland Cavaliers games, I think, in the NBA, where people were yeeting. Is Jey Uso weirdly becoming a pop culture phenomenon? Why they had him win Royal Rumble and are now facing him, having wrestle for a world title in their biggest show of the year at WrestleMania 41.
Part of it, right? You could say part of it for sure.
Yeah, he's pop culture now. Jey Uso is creeping into pop culture.
I mean,
good for him.
Whenever they do the entrances of, and the best entrance in WrestleMania when I went to go see it was without question his, because it's so fun to go like this.
Okay.
It's so and doing it with a huge stadium, like it was just a fun. It's just a fun entrance.
Full disclosure, I still have no idea what yeet means.
You don't know how to yeet. You don't know.
I have no idea what yeet means. All I know about it is that it's apparently the opposite of no yeet. I have no idea what yeet means. Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the comments. Call me a moron if you want. Tell me what yeet means. Help a guy out.
What did Pat McAfee call himself today with Stephanie McMahon?
The commercial they ran during the premium live event. I forget.
He called himself like a doofus or a moron or an idiot.
He was kind of putting himself over, though. Like he was like the goofball that everybody loved.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I don't know if I'm a goofball, and I don't know if everybody loves me. I just know that I don't know what yeet means. That's all I know. One more here for you. Angel Garza from Los Garza. I've been talking about how I really like what him and Humberto have been doing recently. I want to see them get a push in the tag team division. Family keeps growing. Baby Aaliyah Atenia, welcome to our family. Good picture of older child there as well. The new baby, husband and wife. Wonderful stuff. Congratulations, Angel Garza. This is great news, and I hope there's some great professional news for you in the works as well. Angel and Humberto have been wrestling really good matches whenever they've been given a chance so far. I'd like to see them get a push in the WWE's newly resurgent men's tag team division. What say you, John?
Dom, I think we're good here. I think it's time to end Cheap Heat.
There you go.